So, you're probably wondering how I ended up here. In my own house, at 3 in the morning, hiding under a mountain of free merchandise I never asked for. Well, it all started 24 hours ago with a simple, and possibly reckless, experiment. For one full day, I decided to experience life as the most attractive person on Earth. The rule was simple. I had to go about my day, but through the lens of someone everyone finds irresistibly beautiful. This was my 24-hour journey into a world of unearned privilege and unexpected loneliness. It all began innocently enough with my morning coffee. The barista, after fumbling with the machine for a solid minute, gave it to me on the house with a phone number scrawled on the cup. The question, why, was the first domino. An hour later, I was drowning in perks. My parking ticket was mysteriously forgiven. A stranger offered to carry my groceries, and I nearly caused a 3-car pileup just by crossing the street. I didn't just get free coffee. I understood what it meant to have doors opened for you, literally and figuratively. By mid-morning, the attention came faster. I looked out the window and noticed people weren't just glancing, they were staring. A quick walk to the park felt like being on a movie set. A talent scout interrupted my walk to offer me a modeling contract on the spot. The world was already starting to feel less like a shared space and more like a stage where I was the unwilling main attraction. But then, the experiment started to get bigger than just getting free stuff. It started to involve people. I ran into an old acquaintance, someone I'd always had a good chat with. But this time was different. The thought hit me with surprising force. He's not listening to a word I'm saying. So, instead of talking, I just listened. He laughed too hard at jokes that weren't funny, and agreed with opinions I didn't even hold that strongly. I realized, being this attractive isn't about connection, it's about projection. People don't see you, they see a fantasy they've built in their own minds. It doesn't build bridges, it builds a wall of assumptions. That conversation was more isolating than any I'd had all day. That strange, disconnected feeling was a huge turning point. If you've ever felt like people were seeing what they wanted to see, instead of who you really are, do me a favor and hit that like button. It tells me we're on the right track here. As night fell, the experiment really kicked into high gear. I went to a social gathering, and the attention sparked a final, epic quest for understanding. It started with a simple search for the halo effect, the cognitive bias where we assume attractive people have other positive qualities. This is where things got really mind-blowing. It turns out that when people see an attractive face, their brain chemistry actually changes. They get a hit of dopamine, the same chemical tied to reward and motivation. People weren't just being nice, their brains were rewarding them for interacting with me. I was experiencing the halo effect in overdrive. People assumed I was smarter, kinder, and more trustworthy, with no evidence. I realized I wasn't just getting perks, I was living in a reality distorted by everyone else's unconscious bias, an experience that can lead to social rejection and being misjudged. So, what happens when you're the most attractive person for 24 hours? You end up overwhelmed and weirdly alone, yes. But you also find something much more profound. This experiment, as glamorous as it seemed, left me with a sense of unease I haven't felt in a long time. And there's science to back that up. While some studies show a correlation between attractiveness and happiness, it is often linked to secondary benefits and doesn't guarantee long-term life satisfaction. I learned that this kind of attractiveness isn't a superpower, it's a mask. It transforms the world into a mirror, reflecting everyone's desires back at them. You stop being a person and you start becoming an object. The best part is, the lesson is for everyone. You don't need to be the most attractive. Just being genuinely seen for who you are is the real prize. So, my challenge to you is this. What's one quality you value in others that has nothing to do with their appearance? Drop it in the comments below. I'd love to see where your values lie. And if you want to join me for more experiments that explore how we can live better, more authentic lives, make sure you subscribe. Now go out there, and don't be afraid to be truly seen.